What are the main drivers of the latest development? What are the main opportunities and challenge? And if I can start with you, Minister.
Thank you very much for having me here. The first point I would like to make is, unlike the past, where people were thinking of supply chains, people were thinking of, okay, I issue this RFQ and this is what I want, give me the lowest cost and I buy it. Things have changed. Today, people are looking for long-term partnerships where the suppliers and the buyers, both of them are looking at how do we create, how do we add more value, how do we add innovation, how do we make sure that the strengths of either of the two, whether it is supplier or the buyer, is fully utilized by both. So people are looking for win-win solutions, and that is where a totally new paradigm is emerging. I think the recent disruptions have kind of accelerated this change, but this change was something which was waiting to happen.
Did we miss something? Is there important differences between sectors or regions? Is India, you're a minister in India, not one of the international supply guys here, but do you see the situation different in India, or how is this affecting India?
I would like to build upon the point that the gentleman made. Yes, governments must simply provide the framework, and after that, government should not intervene in the rest of the stuff. I think that's a very important point. And that's the policy that our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji has really implemented over the last 8 years of the current government. And that has brought us very good results. For example, this iPhone 14 is today made in India. And its entire supply chain is today shifting to the country. Very clearly laid out policy, very clearly laid out ease of business, ease of doing business, very clear focus on responding proactively to any manufacturer who wants to manufacture in India. Whatever help we can give, we have to go out, be proactive, and make sure that the problems are solved. I think that's a very, very, very big fundamental difference between winners and losers. Second is the question about talent. I think talent will become a very important defining element in success of any value chain. As many of the speakers have said, innovation is going to be key. Adding value is going to be key. It won't be simply supplying material. So our focus in India has been integrating talent with what the industry requires. If you have to retrain people, if you have to provide new skills, if you have to change our course curriculum, we are open to that. Whatever industry, whatever supply chain partners seek, we are open to fulfilling that.
Mr. Vaishnav, firstly, many congratulations for the way India handled the whole process in the last 3 years. I guess what I was looking at the explosive growth which is coming ahead, and we heard some figures yesterday, going from a $3 trillion economy to a $26 trillion economy over the next sort of 20-odd years. How do you deal with the issues of self-reliance, creating jobs for people, yet protecting the value chain in our democracy? And sort of a generic theme, and does the answer vary between developed markets, developing markets, and say frontier markets? Just relying on your own experience, because India in many ways is not just one society, but a multiple society.
A very simple question, just how do we protect democracy? Take whatever part of that you like, and remember we're in the supply chain sessions.
I think it would require one full hour of discussion. Very profound question. Thank you for this question. What's important is we as governments have to look at what our local needs are, what our society needs. We also cannot ignore what the global demands are. For example, today even scope 3 emissions are very important, right? It's very important. Climate change is such a big factor in everything that we do. In India, we have today 42% of our energy, of our power generation capacity coming from non-fossil fuels. If you look at the top 10 economies of the world, it will be very difficult to find out too many 3 or 4 countries which have 42% coming from non-fossil fuels. So to your question, I would like to say that we have to look at our local needs. We have to balance that with what the global needs are. and come with that right balance, which can be very different in different economies. It cannot be one size that fits all.